Hey, welcome back. Today I kind of have to shift gears a little bit because the nice weather is upon us and I need to get this old girl ready to get out on the road. Me and the wife, we need to get out on the highway, get some of that highway therapy and just let her sing. So I'm going to go through, there's not a whole lot I need to do, a couple things I need to button up. I put the classic Auto Air AC on it. I never charged it. I never used it last year. I actually didn't drive for a whole lot last year in general. So I need to evacuate the AC, which I got a pump for. I just got that in. I need to charge the AC. I need to wire in the AC pump to the Holley system. Need to set up the AC kick, all that, so it doesn't bog the engine down when the compressor kicks on. I need to clean her out. I need to shorten up the oxygen sensor because I have an extra 20 feet that I can't put it anywhere, so I have to shorten it up, and I've kind of been putting that off. But I need to do it. I need to get it done because I need to get her out on the road. We got places that we want to go to, and we'll be taking you along. But let's get to it. Alright, so the first thing I have to do is the instructions for the AC system says to rotate the pump by hand 3 times dry, so I need to get down there and do that. But in order to do that, I have to take this off, I have to take the belt off, I have to take the cover off to the AC so I can get a socket on there and rotate that over. So, let's get her done. Now the Serpentine belt system I have on here is from March Performance. I am happy with it, overall. The only downside is everything's starting to get really, really tight in the front of this engine. Almost makes it hard to work on, but overall I am happy with this system. Although the belt I bought was probably just a little bit on the small side because it's hard to get on and off. Almost impossible. Alright, so added bonus. They put this cover on here, and I don't actually have to take that cover off to get a wrench on it, because I could take that cover and actually just spin it over. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I want to get this going first, because you're supposed to evacuate the system for 90 minutes. So I figure I get that going, and that'll give me time to start working on everything else. This is the evacuation kit I got. Extreme power. Seems a little excessive for evacuating an AC pump, but okay. Never actually used one of these. I hope they have. Oop, my bad. Where are you going? Hopefully there's instructions in here. Handy dandy case. And here we are using the charger for a workbench again. Alright, these must be the hoses. Yep, manifold gauges, hoses, all that good stuff. Adapter fittings. Service part. Owner's manual, okay. Alright, so we'll take a look at that. Owner's manual and safety instructions. All right. Vacuum pump oil. Apparently I have to add oil to it. That's fine. Maybe I'll save those boxes to keep things a little bit organized. Alright, well, there is no oil in it, so you do have to add oil. Which I'm assuming for shipping purposes they have to do that. If only I had a nice level workstation. Level-ish. I like how they give you instructions, and I'm doing all this without actually looking at the instructions first. But, common sense, if it needs oil, you put oil in it. So I really don't think I need to read the instructions to tell me to put oil in it. See if I can not make a mess. Alright, looks like we're good. A little extra. Right at that max line. Now, let's see if we can figure out how to hook this thing up. Oh, you couldn't even see that. Sorry about that. I'm not one for reading instructions, but I'm also not one for just wasting something out of sheer laziness. Although they send pictures, so I can get behind that. Manifold operating instructions. So purging, charging, or adding oil, gauge reading, bypassing. So I imagine we're purging, so I'm going to go with number 1, which that looks right. And if for some reason this vacuum pump's too noisy, I'm going to end up having to wait until the hour and a half is up before I can start doing anything else. I thought the gauge was broke already. It's just a rubber coating that was pulled off. Looked like it was bent and misshapen. Alright, so I imagine one here, exhaust out there. Yeah, that works. I can do that. What are these things? No idea. No idea. Well, call me silly, but I'm not supposed to have a through hole in it? Like, how's everything gonna... Like, neither one of them do, so maybe you don't need them. Maybe they are spring-loaded? Yeah, this fits on there. So it's got to do something, I guess. I don't know. low side, high side. Imagine this goes to the pump. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to use these things. We're going to color coordinate all this stuff red on red because I imagine that's why they do it. Ooh. And the yellow will be going to the evacuation pump, the vacuum pump. So we're going to stick these on the car. I got one fitting. Oh, where's it at? Right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a blue cap on it. There you go. And then the other one I have right out front here. You're not going to work there. And these are size specific. You can't put them on backwards. Plus the caps kind of give it away. Blue cap, blue connector, blue hose, red cap, red connector, red hose. Oh, it's kind of hard to screw that up. Well, now those are zero. I wonder if I can close those valves. And have it stay. Oh, well, that's unfortunate already. Well, must be it has vacuum because it don't want to get going. That extreme power is not extreme at all. Okay, well, it shows that it's got zero pressure in it. So I guess we'll just go with that. I don't know, because I don't want to start up now. Maybe because there is vacuum on it. It is even dimming the lights. Oh, there we go. I'm going to let it run for a little bit longer and just see if it drags that gauge down just a little bit more. Right now, we are at minus 30, I guess you'd call it. So, I mean, it's vacuumed out. And whenever I shut it off, it stays. But I'm going to see if it just drags it down any more. Which it is not. So I guess I'm just going to shut it off and hopefully it keeps vacuum on it, because I don't think you're supposed to keep this thing running for a full hour and a half. I can't imagine that being overly good for it. But now that it's down, I'll shut it off and we'll move on to something else. I'll periodically come back and check it and make sure it's still got full vacuum on it. But meanwhile, we're going to move on to something else. I wanted to tint the windows. And I started doing a video tinting the windows. I got this this Gila, this tint stuff you get from Advance. And I bought 2 boxes, which should have been enough to do the entire car. All I got was this window and that little quarter wing window, and that's all I got with 2 boxes because I had to start over a couple of times. Like I said, I started making a video. It wasn't a very, I'm sure it was a very entertaining video, but it wasn't a very, we're just going to call it appropriate video. It's very frustrating. This back window, like when I painted this car, I put all new seals in it. So these seals are super tight, and I can't get the tint on the back window. I can't get it to go down in there. I even started taking some of the interior apart so I could loosen up the seals. But this back window, it doesn't just roll down. It rolls back and down this way. So this back corner here, it's very narrow, and it's impossible to get. So either I'll take it somewhere, or maybe I'll give it another shot. I don't want to take the interior apart unless I have to. If somebody that does it as a profession can do it without taking the interior apart, I'll just have them do it, because it's going to save me a lot of hassle and aggravation. But right now, we're going to go in. I gotta clean her out a little bit, because, well, she's dirty. And she's been collecting dust in here for a while. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to get that cleaned out real quick. Alright, so we got the vacuum pump doing its thing. I got the inside cleaned out so I can get in and out and do what I gotta do. So the next thing I need to do is I need to wire up the compressor pump. I need to tie it into the Holley system. That way whenever the AC kicks on, it doesn't drag the RPMs down. And then there's also an AC shutoff that when you're at full throttle, it'll turn your AC off, which I don't take this car over 5,000 RPMs. It's not built for racing. So I don't think I really need to go to that extreme. But I do want to check that pump real quick. So I got this little bit of red line here, red wire. I'm just going to jam it onto the positive. And I just want to touch it, and you should be able to hear it clicking when that AC pump clutch engages. So here's the wire for it. Let's see if we can hear it. Oh yeah. Alright, so we know that works as it should. It's new, but again, like I didn't drive it and use it at all last year, so I figure it's just better to verify it. So there's 2 ways I can do this. I already have it routed through the firewall. It's gonna be kind of hard for you to see, but I already have it routed through the firewall over here. This wire here. It's my understanding that these pumps don't draw a lot of current, so I could get away with doing it that way and then just tie into the Holley system under the dash there. I think all I have to do is just run a input-output to it, so when the AC kicks on, you get that 12-volt positive. Then that gets sent over to the Holley, and then the AC kicks in and you know, pulls your RPMs up. The other way I could do it is I could take that wire out and run it through the bulkhead. Run it up here to, I don't know if you can actually see that, but I have this right here, and I do have a spare relay in here yet. I do have a spare. Right now it is ground activated, which I can easily fix that. If I go this route, I am going to add the AC shutdown, just because it's a relay. It's easy to do. You just wire it so it's normally closed. Whenever you send the ground signal to that relay, it opens it, and that cuts off the juice to the compressor. The easiest way to do it, again, is just wire it the way it is now and just tap into that wire under the dash. which I think is what I'm going to do, because again, I don't race this car. The RPMs don't ever get that high on it. It's just cruising. And then if for some reason I decide that I want to go back and change that, I'll go back and change it. But for right now, I'm gonna wire it that way. All right, so here is that white wire I was telling you about back in there. You can kind of see it right here. But that's already ran through for the compressor, and then here's the compressor side, and the wire side's down there somewhere. I have to find it. But I'm going to plug that in. Actually, I'm going to tap into the underside first in case I have to pull that back through at all. Okay, so I got everything kind of mapped out. It's a little confusing, but I'm going to go over that here in just a second. So I got the computer hooked up. Like I said, this is a Holley Terminator X system. If you go to your pin map up top here, you can see where one is already predefined as an AC kick. There's a line through it though. So in order to activate that, you have to go into your basic in and out. And then down here you have your air conditioning options. So I'm going to turn my IAC kick on. And then when you do that, see if I can get them both on the screen. Under the electric fans, you can see where it says engine running only, always on with AC. So once you turn that IAC kick on, you get another option, always on with AC. So even if your engine's not up to temp, if your AC is on, both your fans are going to kick on automatically. But now, if you go back to your pin map, now you can see the AC kick is active. There's no longer a line through it. But here's where it gets kind of confusing for me, and if somebody knows more than I do, by all means chime in, because I may end up circling back to this. But here it says for the IAC kick input, it says the input is a ground located in pin A of the B, which that's fine. I found the wire. It says it's white with a blue stripe, which is this one right here. It's got the white with the blue tracer on it. But I can't have it be a ground because the white wire that's under the engine, or under the hood, which is this one here, is going to end up being a 12-volt positive. So I don't know if I can make that work. I'm going to have to dig into that a little bit more. So I think I'm going to end up circling back to this. But meanwhile, I still have other things I can do. The gauges are holding pretty steady. They're still bottomed out. They haven't moved, so that's good. That means there's no leaks. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue just letting that sit. But what I have to do yet is underneath, like all of this, I got all of this extra oxygen sensor wire. I mean, I got like 10 feet extra. So I'm going to shorten this one up, and I'm going to do away with this adapter, which is kind of confusing in itself also, because it's my understanding that the Terminator X only uses the LSU style, not the NTKs. But yet, they still have to give you an adapter for it, because this is the LSU style plug. And then this one, if I can get it off without breaking it one-handed. Come on. But this is the plug that's on the Terminator X. So I'm going to do away with this, and I'm going to put an end like this on there. That way I don't have this adapter. Just get that out of here. But if anybody knows why that is, again, please chime in, because I I'm here to learn also, and I just don't understand why, if it's only capable of using the LSU style, they have to give you an adapter instead of just putting the LSU style pigtail on it. That doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, I got it routed where I wanted it under the hood. It is this wire right here. I have it on this hanger and then dropping down in. So I'm going to get down there. I'm going to mark it. I'm going to pull it back up, and then I'm going to start cutting it and getting it, putting that other pigtail on it. Tell you what, guys, she's fighting me hard today with that input for the IAC kick. I ordered a Bosch Boost Monkey replacement LSU wideband O2 sensor. I took a picture of the one that was on the vehicle that I needed, and I compared it to the picture that they showed online. But, and as you can tell, I mean, they look very similar, but, you know, one is not like the other. It's substantially bigger. So I don't know how far I'm going to get on that today either. I might have to look online and see what I can find as far as other pigtails. Maybe they'll have dimensions, something I can actually get a better idea of what I am getting. But as it is, that one is not going to work, which is unfortunate because today seems like zero progress. None. Oh, I take that back. We are holding vacuum, so we have that going for us. Yeah, I don't know. Just not a very productive days, and I don't like days like this. I like to get stuff done. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, there's nothing I can really do about it. I wasn't really going to get her out today anyway, so it's really not that big of a deal. I need to get the CUDA so I can get it moved out. Because in front of this garage, I don't have the driveway done yet, so there's a step, and I'm not going to be able to back this car in and out every time I take it out. So I'm going to use the carriage house, which is where the Barracuda is sitting at now. That's where I used to park it, so I'm going to swap the two vehicles around. Then I'm going to use that as the parking spot during the summer. But I don't know. At this point, I'm going to look around, see what I can figure out. We may not get any further than what we are right now today, but I'm gonna see what I can do. Here's the hoping. Well, all right, here we are. Sometime later, I got it to work. A lot more messing around than I should have had to do. That plug not being right, that was completely my fault. I should have actually verified that before I cut wires and stuff like that, which it's a good habit to get into because, you know, situations like this. But regardless, it does work. I did fire it up just to make sure that it did work the way it was supposed to. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to step inside, get her fired up, let you listen to her, and give you a view from the captain's seat. She does need cleaned up. She is dirty. Just from sitting in here and working on those things, making a mess. Alright. So, still needs a little cleaned up, but that's okay. Nothing major. Here's all the wires. I still have yet to figure out that AC kick and the AC shutdown. I'm still working on that, but that's okay because the AC didn't work because apparently I didn't make sure I had enough charge for it. So that's cool. I get her fired up here. Dakota Digital Dash. Everything works. I still have to calibrate the speedometer. But let's get this thing linked up. See, she's reading a little lean. I gotta work on that yet. Getting a huge flare from that sun. Sounds good, and I think she's ready to go. I just have to button up a couple of things and get her ready. So I think that's going to do it for this video. Today didn't go quite as well as I had planned. You know, not having enough AC to charge the system, and you know, that pigtail issue we ran into. It just seems like a long day and a lot of work to achieve so little. But you know, that happens on these old cars. I mean, it happens. Not everything goes according to plan. You just kind of have to roll with the punches and make things work. As far as how I made that oxygen sensor work, I know there's good wiring practices, but then there's also the practices that just work. So that may end up being a temporary, permanent solution until it leaves me stranded alongside the road, and then I kind of kick myself for not addressing it sooner. But that's a video for another day. Until then, like, subscribe, notifications, all that stuff. Till next time. Hey, me again. So, apparently I thought I was done with this video, but I was not. As I was walking past the front of the car, I heard something that sounded like it was hissing at me. So I went to investigate that, and let me show you. I don't know if you can hear it, but that bottom hose right there, you can see where it's just a little bit wetter than everything else. So apparently I do have a leak in the AC system. So let's add that to the issues of today that did not get resolved. Anyway, till next time.